Welcome to the Smokin Word. Welcome to the Smokin Word.
The last episode I had, Gogo Bordello, shout out to them, and I had to come back. That was the left hook. I had to come back with the right cross, and I said, and I've been looking for you for a minute, but so I've been quiet hunting. I had to go look through the what do you call it? Through some of the deserted roads of the Sahara and wherever you be doing and walking or whatever you do nowadays, I'm gonna find out. But I was like, I gotta get Nick Jett, and then I was like, I was glad when I got in contact with you, and I was glad that you were able to jump on in Europe because I know it could be a bitch. There's also a lot of time at hand, but it also could be a pain in the ass to jump on. So I'm glad you jumped on.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's like little windows.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel like you got the whole day, but then all of a sudden you're like, you got a sound check. And you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss dinner. Dinner's only from like 20 minutes before, and then it's all gone.
Exactly. You know the deal, how that shit goes. That's why I was like, all right. And I know the one good thing was I figured, you know, you guys are you're in a bus, right, on this run, right? Correct?
Yeah, in Europe on the bus, yeah.
But yes, I figured, okay, you know, they'll be traveling in the night. They might get in a little earlier. That's the only reason. I said, okay, usually I tell dudes, hit me when you get back, because I know it's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, but, all good. We'll make it happen, though.
Oh, yeah. What's up with you? Where you been? And there's a lot of shit going on with Nick Jett. And I hear this as I go through people talking. They're like, oh, Nick this, Nick that. I learned new things about the family and everything that I didn't know.
Yeah, you know, it's like staying busy with all types of stuff. But, you know, over the pandemic, there was like, what do you do with the band? You know, so we were trying to stay as busy as possible. And then also during the pandemic, like, real life shit, I ended up getting married, and
that's what I was saying.
Had a little baby girl, so you know, handling family business. And,
yeah, congratulations. That's what so I think I had heard, but it was in the back of my head. Then I heard somebody else, maybe Vogel or somebody said something about it was Vogel talking about, oh yeah, Nick being a father. I said, oh shit. I was like, he did. I was like, good for him. I'm glad, man. We need more babies in this world.
Well, it was always cool. I mean, hanging out with you guys. I know you know, you guys always have family, and you know, you and Freddie always, you know, we looked up to you guys, but I always saw like you guys can make it happen, go on the road and you know, and still take care of the family and everything. And I just figured, you know, with Scott's help and with the band's help of, you know, making sure we got time off and stuff like that, which it worked out really cool. The band almost took like a paternity leave for me.
Yeah.
So we had
exactly, and that's great. Yeah. That people don't understand that. That's the thing with that. It's a hard thing because you know, it's hard for us to get away, especially having a brand new baby. It's hard in every way, but I learned throughout the years we are very, very, very lucky because, you know, this is the way it goes with being a touring parent and a new baby. So, yes, we have times, big, you know, sections of time that we're away. But when we're home, we're 24 hours with them.
Oh, yeah.
We were always home with our parents every day, but they weren't with us 24 hours. They had to work, then they were tired, then they cooked for us, and they were just wanted to get us out because they were tired from, you know, they're humans working, taking care of kids. So, yeah, we're there for, you know, they got love for us, but, you know, American family, you know, both parents working if you got both, and, you know, you get the, you know, you get your little increments where you can.
Yeah.
You know,
now, so we've been fortunate enough, my wife, she's been able to take some time off of work. So she's been home 100% of the time since our baby's been born. And yeah, you know, when I'm home, it's like I can take the load off my wife, and, you know, I just go and take care of baby time and go on walks and pick up the slack. And I'm just there. Like, there's some real advantages, you know, doing it how we do it.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to both. None is worse or better than the other, but we have an option. All these people that say, oh, I can't because this and that, it's all bullshit. You can make it. Look, if you love I'm not trying to be Toby right now. But the fact is, when you love somebody like a child, where it's unconditional, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. You be on Mars and you're like, don't worry. If I gotta float there, I'll be there in 30 years floating from it, but I'm on my way. You know how that is. You like it.
And FaceTime is like a game changer. I mean, it's like back in the day doing, payphones and shit. It's like now you get on FaceTime. It's like my baby's 6 months old and she recognizes me over FaceTime.
Yeah.
And she knows my voice. And that's different, than totally being away and not being able to communicate with them. So,
Big time.
pop up on FaceTime and she sees my face right away.
Hears you, sees you. Yeah.
So
I caught a little of that where it sucked because when I had my oldest son, my first son, we didn't have the FaceTime shit yet. There was we had whatever on the I forgot what we used on the FaceTime, whatever it was we used on the camera, the phone calls we used to do on the fucking the computer, whatever it was. But
I did or whatever.
Skype was the closest. And then what I used to have was a camera over my son's crib with a link. I had to tap on the link and just stare at him. It would just be a camera over his thing. And I'd be like, oh, look at him. And he couldn't hear me. And then I just stare at this thing. Though. But crazy. But how old now, the baby?
6 months.
Oh, fresh.
She's still little. Yeah.
Fresh out the box. All right.
Yeah.
And were you there? Were you there in the room? Did you come after? What style?
Oh yeah, like my wife, she when we were thinking about having a baby, she brought up having a home birth, and I was like, at first, kind of freaked out. I was like, how do you even do that? Like you gotta have people there or whatever.
No, the kick drum.
Yeah, so she did a lot of research, and we met with a bunch of people, and we decided to go for it. So we ended up having a completely unassisted home birth, and it was just me and my wife and her mother, who is a retired nurse.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so her mother delivered the baby, and we just did it like in the bedroom. It was just three of us, and
wow, that's great.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you cut the cord? I cut my son's cord. Yeah, I was like clank. Like, give me that. I'm about to deep fry it and put it in a sandwich. No, but I got my son's belly button somewhere around here that's just like shriveled up like a little.
Yeah, I held on to it. My wife was like, that's gross, that's nasty, and it got all dried up or whatever. And I wanted to keep it. She's like, no, just get rid of it.
Like put it on your drum key. Yeah, you like
on your tour laminate.
Exactly. Yeah, like put it inside. Like it's funny when my son was born, the nurse looks at me and goes, "You want the placenta?" And I said, "For what?" She goes, "Oh, some people want to eat it or plant the flies." No, you could have it. I just want my son. Yeah, I just want my son. How about that? You keep the jelly. I'll keep the baby.
People making smoothies and shit.
Yeah, right. And now you're over there. So I see this. This is a dope tour. You guys in Lionheart. Who else is on the bill? I saw it's a full, or it's just you twos and the opening band's changing every day.
It's four bands. Dying Wish from Portland, Oregon. Get the Shot. They're from Quebec City.
Yeah, they're good. They're dope.
Yeah, and then us and Lionheart.
Yeah, that's good. It looks like.
And then we're doing a UK run at the end of this. We got like a day off, then we go to the UK. So
that's dope. That's dope. And who you doing the UK with on your own?
It's I'm fucking drawing a blank, but it's on the hat.
Oh,
Last Wishes.
Oh yeah, but it's
your boys.
Yeah.
From Last Wishes. They're from like Leeds, Manchester. I don't know which one. I think Manchester.
Yeah.
But they're on it, and
so it's a terror run for the UK, right? Oh, okay, that's dope. And fucking and now, what was you guys first did the UK, right? Your first time back after this whole pandemic shit, right?
Yeah, UK was pretty open, and so we actually had a whole Europe tour planned with Knock Loose, and Europe wasn't ready yet when the tour popped up, so we just did the UK section of it.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
And then shortly after that, everything really opened up. So we were,
Yeah.
we're back in Europe like a couple months later after that.
Yeah, I was curious because you guys, that run was the first run in our world where Europe opening up, the UK run. Because I remember being like, they're going, I was like, we'll see if they make it. Because we weren't sure if it would get canned. And then they were like, I saw you guys, we're on the plane. I said, all right. And then I saw you guys chilling over there. Obviously, like everywhere, it didn't matter where you were. I know people were psyched, but how did that feel? Because like I know, like we came up over here and we also grew up over there in Europe where you're at. So we know the vibes. How did the vibe feel there for being like the comeback after all this shit? It must have felt crazy, or was it like normal? Because it's always great there for all our bands, you know what I mean? But did it seem like extra?
Yeah, I would say like everything since coming back's been a little extra. It's like, but the first shows back, it was like, totally wild. And yeah, you could definitely feel the difference. People just psyched to get out of their home and just, go to a show. And likewise for us.
Yeah. And you motherfucker, always, I know you guys talk, but you're everywhere. So on my other show, on the Hard Corner show, which we do every week, everybody, you know what time it is. I don't think there's a week we put a flyer up that doesn't have Terror on it. I'm almost like, this is the Terror news with a bunch of other band shit. I'm going to start saying other things. Because literally, you guys are on everything, but you guys are, which is dope. And what I'm seeing is, which is really dope, is finally bands like us, meaning us, you guys, us or whatever, are getting on some of these festivals and stacked bills in America, like the crossover bills with the metal shit, which is
some
dope.
of those bands that really popped off, like Knock Loose is one of those bands that
crazy,
they really blew up, and they're they're hardcore kids, so they grew up on Madball and Terror even, so it's like for them to take Terror out, it's like they're super psyched, and for us to be able to play in front of all those young kids, it's been dope.
It's dope, and for sure. And I seen that, and I was like, because I remember and it's funny with Knock Loose in general, because when I first heard of them specifically, it was pretty funny. But I liked the story that I heard, because this was right before I guess they blew up, but they were already, playing, selling out spots. But I remember catching AF was playing, I think in Poughkeepsie at the Chance. And somebody had mentioned something like, maybe you guys should go on before these dudes. And like, they were like, oh, love. Like, they, with respect, they didn't want to. They were like, these are OGs. But I heard they were like, the promoters were like, nah, I think you better. Just because they were they were coming. That was like an early stage of them, which they ended up doing. And AF had a great show, but then I said, who is this? I'm like, then I said, wow, the name is bugged out. I never heard of it. I didn't expect the sound to match the name, because it don't match the name to me. It sounds like, they're hardcore kids, but it's a more metallic style. The name seems more like our hardcore shit, but the sound is more darker metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tuned down, a little bit heavier.
That style. Stuff. So I like that it caught me off guard. And then the whole shit. And then the next thing I know, I saw you guys doing shows, and then I started seeing more shows and them doing good. But what I liked was, you guys getting in there, and I seen you guys killing it. Cause I'm like, anybody who likes heavy music, like the aggressive side of this shit, how can they not like all our bands? And now they have the chance to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we've always been a band that's, we don't really have any ego about, needing to headline or we like opening up for bands. And even if they're newer bands, they've been around for a couple of years. It's like, that's a good slot to play right before, main support right before a band that's popping off, regardless of how long they've been a band. It's like, we don't care.
We'll headline is the best
play
spot
with anybody. Yeah,
the co-headline, know that. I'm like, I'll take a co-headline over whatever.
Yeah. Scott
that's
loves
the
it too.
prime.
That's his slot.
That's the prime spot, because you're like, you got everybody. It's like 1 a.m. at the club is peaking. You know, everybody is at the club. Everybody arrived. If you're partying, you're partying. If you're dead, all right. That's usually the co-headlining spot. Now, the headliner got the end of the night. Now, it could be one of those after-hour nights, or it could be one of those nights everybody's tired because the co-headliner ran them out. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But what I was gonna tell you, you did this. You did some of these. Did you do the Blue Ridge or whatever, that one metal one in the States, right?
Yeah, it was like Blue Ridge Rock Festival down in Virginia.
What's up with those? Like those style ones that you guys got to do. How were those shows for you guys? Because that's more of a real test on us outside our world. You know, sure, the hardcore kids come out, but you know, these other dudes, they have to watch your band too, you know. Oh, let's go check them out. We heard of Terror. Let's go see. How overall, what do you think the vibe was on those?
I think it was pretty good. Like we were lined up like kind of in between like Kubla Khan, and they played I think right before us, and Acacia Strain, and Stick to Your Guns. So like we played on a stage where it's like, you know, a bunch of these bands that we played with already. A lot of these. You know, the kids that are there to see those bands at least heard of us before. So, so, you know, it wasn't too like weird out of the box. I mean, the stage down the hill or whatever is like Slipknot, you know, more metal stuff, but it was like a wide variety of younger kids.
Gotcha. So, I wasn't sure. That's why I wasn't sure. So they had more like the the underground, the heavy stage.
Yeah, I wasn't a pretty good mix of everything.
And
like Municipal Waste played, I think maybe the same day we played too. So
yeah, that's cool. I'm seeing a lot of those shits pop up now. And what's up in Europe? You guys got to do. What were some of the highlights? You got to hit some festivals, right, this year?
Yeah, we did like Hellfest was one of the big ones, which is always fucking crazy. Yeah, you know, so like all the usual festivals are like now they're happening, they're popping off, and people are like going nuts. So it's been really good.
And that's dope. I'm seeing, man. I'm like, believe me, I'm jealous of everybody. I'm amped and jealous. Everybody's out there, and I'm over here eating popcorn, watching you motherfuckers. But I'm psyched that it seems like everybody's killing it. You know what I mean? Everybody's having an upswing, and which is good. You know, the scene always could use a jump start. You know, get the new kids amped. You know, when you got packed shows, it's a better experience for the new people. They're like, yo, they see a packed show. I want to feel like that again. You know, let's go again. You know what I mean? And it's like, that type of
definitely feels like a good, you know, some momentum. With, you know, with some of these bands that are popping off, I think there's just a lot of young kids coming into the scene. And so, listen, I mean, everybody's reaping the benefits of these bands popping off. So.
Listen, California with the Drains and the Scows and the Gulches, which broke up or whatever. I know these motherfuckers because they were just popping, and you hear them and see them, and it's like, oh shit, there's like a bunch of them. Like I already know about them. Like I've already caught doses of them because they've been jumping on bills and stuff. But now it's just that whole momentum of all that young blood, and which is dope. Yeah. But it's like what I like I tell people. I think right now hardcore it's in a weird but also in a dope spot again. Like, okay, there was a time when we were younger, we had, of course, the AF, the whatever, New York swag hardcore, the Madball Leeway or whatever. But then there was also, the Carnivores or the Suicidal, that little, we had the crossover. Then it became, everything was kind of swag, what we are. Kind of that, and with a little more metallic, less of the old style punk rock element. We were hardcore 100%. Terror, Madball, there's more of the hardcore shit. But the punk attitude, no punk rock in the music, really. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And then
don't tell Scott that.
Oh yeah, he could think whatever. I'll tell him because I know what it is. It's the feeling, because you have that raw feeling. So that's what I said. I was like, that's the hardcore shit, is the punk rock is more the attitude, but then we all added more metal, but now the metal changed. But now, okay, maybe now it's not, back then we had Crumbsuckers, Leeway, and then we had the whatever. Now we got the Knock Loose, whatever, and you have these other new California bands that got the more punk rock.
Yeah, more punk influence.
Which is dope,
yeah.
This is what I like, because you know me, I'm not the punk guy. I was never a punk dude. But I like that they were tapping into that, because no matter what, that punk element is more one of the original ingredients, if we like it or not.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So to see young people tapping into the OG shit when we're kind of like, even don't want to taste that too much, they're doing it good. You know what I mean?
It's also not so segregated, you know, like I feel like before it was like if you were leaning more towards, you know, the punk or old school style, like you're only going to play with these certain bands, or you're only going to play, you know, these kind of shows. And now it's all mixed. Like a bill would just be, you know, just totally stacked with all these different styles, and it's cool.
Yeah. No,
it's like it's one scene, you know. It's like it's not all these different scenes. It's like it's all kind of combined into one.
I root for that shit. I like all the young bloods, because again, I'm like, you hear that sounds like, you know, not maybe they sound like, but that would be the outburst in the mix. Like, and that would be the, you know, the youth of today of the mix. That would be the crumb suckers of the mix. You know, we have all those elements again, you know, crossover, that mean shit, that Detroit style punk. That's what the punk Cali's doing. That
for sure.
Not the beach punk. They're doing the discharge punk. You know what I mean? The English, you know, no waves to surf, just fucking, you know, cold water, fucking that punk, you know. But it's mean as fuck. I bugged out because I was like, damn, these motherfuckers, you know, if you like it or not, you can't say it ain't angry as fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I like that. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm so on the metal shit that I'm like, I forgot that you could be angry in that way again.
Yeah. I mean, I always like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my other band, Piece by Piece, who's played with Madball before, like,
of course.
You know, it's super punk influence, super fast, but it was always angry.
Yeah.
I mean, that, you know, kind of back in the day when we were playing, it was a very posy. The scene that we were playing in was a very posy youth crew, but we were always kind of more on the kind of angry,
the grit.
You know?
And with that being said, that's what I was going to get into, was the record, because the record has that vibe. Because I know what Vogel thinks, why he thinks that punk shit, because, you know, it's in our DNA, the element. We all know that bullshit. But the record has that attitude where the fast shit has that angry punk discharge attitude, but it doesn't sound like discharge. Sorry, Vogel. Right? It doesn't, but it does have that attitude. I feel it, like that dirt, that real gritty, angry shit. So I understand what he meant. And that's what I was going to say. Now, I know, you know, you have a big part with writing riffs too. I know on this record, and I also know Homeboy was involved with it, right?
Todd,
yeah. Shout out to him. He's a fucking killer,
sure.
You know, as far as a songwriter, style-wise, and all that. So I know you two connect. You always connected. Was this also a big connect project for you two, you know, on this one? Like, as far as how you want to take the style for the new music? Because it changed a little bit. It's Terror, but it got like grittier.
I mean, sure. Yeah. We you know, when we kind of linked back up with Todd, we were kind of doing some of these little fun projects during the pandemic, and
the garage stuff.
And we did like some like live recordings and stuff together, and so we started kind of jamming some just, you know, original new material stuff, and it was just feeling right. And so as soon as, you know, we kind of all talked about it and he was on board, we're just kind of full steam ahead. But yeah, Todd and I, we played in a band together before Terror started, and we were kind of more, he was originally from the Oxnard area. And when I was first going to shows, that's where I was going to most of my first shows, was up in the Ventura County, Oxnard, you know, Ojai. And the scene was very punk influenced, but a mix of like kind of this almost like street punk, power violence kind of punk mixed with like youth crew. So it was all not a lot of really like heavy stuff. It was all really fast and aggressive. And so me and him always linked up on that kind of style. And you listen to the early Terror records, everything was like really fucking fast. And that was definitely, you know, inspired by just Todd and I's like love for really fast, aggressive shit. So when he came back into the picture, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play some really fast, aggressive stuff, and Todd's like, we match up on the same page on so many things. Like, you know, he'll start jamming something, and instantly I'm feeling it. He's like one of those people, like I'm sure you've had over your
Matty Henderson's my dude. Yeah,
you just instantly link up. It's like, you know, almost 90% of the time you're both feeling the same shit.
It's Pippen and Jordan, I say. You know, you just have that layout. You know, it's just that combo when you feel it. It's great when you do that. That's how it was with Matty Henderson. If I had a riff, he had something to finish it without being planned. Vice versa. He had something. Yo, I got something. It just, you know, always
so cool.
Page.
Yeah, like after, you know, we hadn't played together for probably fucking 16, 17 years. So it was like jumping right back into it. And it was supernatural. He would come up with something, and then I would have something to accentuate it or transition to the next part. And we were both like, yeah, that's it. And so it just came together real supernatural. And that's how we wrote the early Terror shit. It was just, you know, me, Todd, and Scott in a room together. You know, it wasn't like, you know, you sit in your bedroom and write a bunch of riffs and then come to practice like, hey, I got this song or I got these riffs. It was, we just jammed in the room until we came up with some shit that we were into and whatever stuck, you know. And obviously the other guys, Jordan and Chris, they were sending in riffs the whole time, which we ended up using a bunch of their
I know they got some stuff
we were
in there.
jamming.
Yeah, it's good. That's dope when they, you know, it's dope when everybody could get something in there, because you know how it is. It ain't always, you know, room for them to have to do what they could do. You know what I mean? You know how it is. I know being one of the main songwriters back in the day, I was kind of like, not always, I was way more closed-minded. Yeah, but it's also sometimes it's not needed. It's more like I would use my players as, I'm going to give it to you really chopped up and dirty. You make it nice. You know what I mean? You finesse it. But I'm going to give you the, you know, the building block. But it's dope when they could get their hands in there, because, you know, everybody likes feeling like they did their part. Some people are content with just being what I do. Look, yo, fix this for me. And that's big. You know, that's just as big to me. I'm like, at the end of the day, nobody sits there and says, unless I'm saying, I wrote that. People still think Matty Henderson wrote everything. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I'm like, what's going to come off? You know, what's going to feel
you just, you know, want the record to be dope. So however to make that happen, you know.
And let me ask you this, Coach. So obviously Todd, with the nail stuff, obviously the noise, the fast shit, that it's in him. He got that static style, what I call static. That's that punk, that crazy insanity. So obviously we know being song guys, you could do a Bad Brains fast. You could do an AF fast. You could do a Chromax fast. You could do a fucking DRI fast. You know, when we're talking fast. When you were doing this album, obviously you were saying, oh, we want to do some more raw shit. Like with the fast, we want to do fast, but fast like a discharge or whatever. What was like some of the key points? You know how it works. We always kind of have little ideas of kind of where we want to go with it. Because I hear something, it's Terror, but I hear, oh, you could tell you use a different ingredient a little bit more on this one.
I mean, I don't think we had like any set idea, like, you know, we want this song to sound like this band or whatever. I think probably what you're hearing is Todd's grittiness coming from writing nail songs and
for sure.
And you know, for him coming back to a more traditional hardcore, but bringing in that element a little bit. We didn't have like any, you know, specific like ideas of what we want the record to sound like, other than just it being super just no idea of production. We wanted the production to be just like dudes playing in a room and just to have the energy there, like we did plan to, record to a click track or add any overdubs. I think there's only like a couple guitar overdubs on the whole entire record. It was just, we wanted the record to be super fucking raw and just straight to the point. And I think, the grittiness that Todd brought in, matched with just us wanting to do a really fast, straight to the point, hardcore record. It kind of just, that's what kind of came out of it.
Because it's definitely, because I know kind of when you were working on the last record, you had the other studio, you got the other guy, it's a bigger deal, it's a bigger production overall, you know what I mean? Going the more technical side for the album, which still was a great album and worked out. Now you did both. Obviously, we like the raw shit. Of course, we like raw because we on feelings. You're a drum, I'm a bass player. At the end of the day, how it feels is what matters. Okay, you got both style. Not which record you like more, but you went back to going the raw style a little bit more, and then in the last record, you kind of had more of the budgeted stuff.
Sure.
I want your real fucking opinion on. Okay, forget what came off more sonically. Which way you like, what you still feel was the wild style way, or you like the comfort way? Because I like the comfort way. I won't lie. I get it. The raw way gets it across, but I'm like, I'd rather work harder in the nice spot to try to get what comes easy there. But I think we could get it. But I'm a comfort guy that I learned. But I know some people don't want no part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'd probably go with the newer record just because I even, just comparing production and everything, like just the feeling of the energy, like when I hear those songs or when we play those songs, it's just a little bit different. Yeah. And I feel like we could play these newer songs in any environment, whether it's we're playing fucking 20 kids in a small little dingy club or a floor show at a VFW hall, or if we're playing at a Hellfest in front of 10,000 people. I think the energy is there regardless. Sometimes the more like I look at our record Keepers of the Faith that has some of these real, big anthem style tracks. Yeah.
Big songs, big sections for sure.
Yeah. I mean, those songs pop off, but it requires a certain type of show for them to pop off to the full extent. Yeah. It's, playing some of these smaller shows, a song like Keepers of the Faith that is real kind of slower, straightforward driving tempo. It might not pop off the same as some of these like super energetic fast songs. Yeah. So I love them both. There's not a better feeling when you're playing, one of your fucking anthem style songs in front of a huge crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
And people are fucking bugging out. There's no feeling like it. Everybody's singing along, everybody's fucking feeling it. But it's just a cool feeling when you're playing, these 45-second song that just has like fucking balls to wall energy.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You can play it wherever. And it feels right,
Yeah, for sure. And this is something that you get because, again, being a musician, people don't understand. Like to this day, people come, why does it matter, do Semper Fi and these songs, which were those songs, which you saying exactly, big epic songs on the record. We would do them live, and I felt like we were Pink Floyd playing for 10 hours, and people were just looking at us. This shit would never end. I'm like, when is this song gonna end, and why are these people just looking at us?
Yep.
Because the energy is different,
Yeah, for sure. And it affects like the set list. It's like, where are you playing? What's the show like? So, for us, we just did the tour in the States with Knock Loose on certain shows. And then we had our headlining shows mixed in between. And so we had multiple set lists.
Yeah.
Just because the environment's going to be completely different. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's crazy how that works, and how you gotta, people as a band don't understand that, how you gotta juggle that it's different. Everything doesn't come off that way. You got to kind of work with what you have, you know. The environment is big time with that shit.
I'm also like a studio head too, though. So I love all the production shit. You know, like I love it both. But you know, it's such a cool experience when you're like in a dope big studio, and you're thinking about all these production ideas of, you know, the dynamics between the verses and the choruses and what layers you're gonna add, and then when you get to the mix, all the different elements. Like I love that shit too.
Yeah,
you know, so it's cool. You know, I think we've been able to kind of bounce back and forth between doing records and all these different ways.
Yeah,
and you got to switch it up. Obviously, you can't do the same thing over and over again, but it's like, I think I think when you start writing the songs and it starts coming together and you start getting the vibe for the record, it's like, you'll know which direction you need to go when it comes to going into the studio.
Yeah, for sure. And when you started with this last, how did you record this last one? What was the whole, cause I know you also sometimes do stuff in your house, then you do drums in one spot and you'll do guitars in another. What was the, because I remember specifically on the last one when you were trying to find, before you had Evans did one of the records, right? One of your records?
No, we never recorded with
there was one guy you looked for. You remember one of the guys? Was it the Tracks East guy? One of the dudes you
knew? Tom Soares.
Soares. It was Soares. Because I remember
he mixed a record of ours.
Yeah, because I remember
he was a man. He was awesome.
Yeah. But I remember when, you know, you were going for that. You were like, yo, I'm trying to find this because I'm trying to go for that. So, you know, where did you end up doing this one? Like, how did you go about doing this one?
It's pretty cool because, like, so the dude that recorded this record and mixed it, his name is Matt Hyde, and I became good friends with him. I'd followed his work. He's done a bunch of crazy shit. He kind of got his first kind of big credits. By working with No Doubt. He had engineered and mixed a couple songs on Tragic Kingdom, the big No Doubt record.
Yeah, wow.
And after that, he went on and he started doing some more metal stuff. So he did a Slayer record. He did God Hates Us All.
Oh, shit.
He did, and then he did Hate Breed Perseverance.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then he's done a bunch of shit, and he transitioned from the analog world into the digital world very nicely, which I think a lot of engineers and producers, they kind of struggled in that period. Yeah. And a lot of them weren't able to kind of transition into the digital world and doing a hybrid of the analog.
Of getting that flavor, bringing it,
and then going into the digital world and making it happen still. So he's like a dude that I had always followed. We got him to mix Keepers of the Faith. So that was my introduction to him. And he was an LA dude, or living in LA, and had a home studio where he was mixing. So I went to his home studio when he was mixing the Keepers of the Faith record in North Hollywood. And we became good friends out of that. And I ended up doing a bunch of work for him, working on some records that he was working on. And then when I started producing and more seriously and recording records, he let me utilize a lot of his
settings. I remember, I think you told me about that, right?
Yeah, his gear, and I would mix at his studio, and he taught me. It's like an expedited, you know, production recording engineer school that I went. You know, it wasn't any kind of training, but I felt like that. I learned so much in this few-year period of working really closely with them. So since then, we've been able to really stay in touch and
work together. Yeah, it's dope to have
work
a guy
together
like that.
And. Yeah, so, you know, he's a big name. He's, you know, just recently had done a couple Deftones records, and so it's definitely like a dude, like, you know, you're gonna have to spend some money when you're working with him. But I also had a cool relationship with him, so he was able to
look out and make it worthwhile.
Exactly, and he knew what we were doing. We were so well rehearsed. We'd played these songs so many times and recorded them at my studio, probably fucking. All the songs, we probably recorded them like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And so when we went into the studio to record, he found a studio that had an old Neve console and all the dope analog shit, super pro shit. And we banged it out. Like we literally recorded the whole entire record, all the music, just the music, in 3 days.
Wow, yeah.
It was like,
boom, yeah.
Fucking just banged it out. And then he, Scott was at this point had moved back to Buffalo already. So Scott recorded his vocals in Buffalo, sent all the vocal files.
And he just did that at just a studio he had over there, somebody's studio over there.
Yeah, we'll record at the King Size Sound Labs.
Gotcha.
King Size, yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's in Glassell Park, like Highland Park in LA.
Oh, gotcha.
And they have a few rooms, but like the big room, they have like it's like the Neve 80 something console. It's one of the consoles from the late 70s, I think.
Yeah, the Neve is the shit. We did that one record. You know, Tim has that shit in his studio, the OG shit. Yeah, that's the shit.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: so before you hooked up with him, when you first went to him to mix the record, you didn't know him, right? You met him. No,
I didn't know him personally. No.
And did you what obviously I know you're a studio guy, but did you go for him specifically, or somebody brought up a couple of names and you were like, check this guy out, this guy out, this guy out, and then you said, oh, let me try him out? Is that how, or no, you had him in your mind already?
Yeah, he's a dude that I'd always kind of had been on my radar and I'd been following at the time. I don't know, you know Paul Conroy? You remember Paul Conroy? Okay,
yeah,
he was managing us.
Shout out to Paul motherfucking Blue Belt Conroy.
Paul was the man, and he, you know, we were probably his smallest band he was working with at the time, but he always really looked out for us. He was working with maybe not Norwegian, this Scandinavian band, a real big Scandinavian band, crazy metal band that he was managing at the time, and Matt was producing and doing engineering and mixing the whole record. Children of Bodom.
Oh, of course, the motherfuckers.
So Paul was like, I was like, yo, you know, we'd like, you know, I don't know how much this dude costs, but you know, he's working on the Children of Bodom record. Maybe, you know, he could put a word in for us. So he hit him up and was like, yo, would you know, mix this hardcore band on the side, maybe make it part of the deal with Children of Bodom kind of thing. And so he made it happen. He linked us up.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because that's what I was kind of wondering, like, because I know some of these dudes, sometimes they'll take on a hardcore band because they got roots and they think, oh, it's cool if they do it for themselves to do, like, get back to the roots. Some of them don't want to fuck with it at all. And they'll be like, unless you pay them, you know, so I know how it could be. You know, and I was curious because I also know you had a relationship with dude. So I was wondering, like, when you approached him, also, obviously, it's still money, but was it reasonable without, you know, like I said, that was good that you answered it for me. The way Paul went into it, he kind of worked it in with a deal and a big package, and that's how you do shit.
Yeah.
And then now got you in, and now you have a relationship, a homeboy. And then,
and he saw how professional we were. We, you know, it's not like we didn't have our shit together.
Yeah.
Like the record was recorded and done really well. So when we got it to him to mix, it was a really, you know, just smooth process.
Yeah. And then now with everything now, so what do you think? Now you did the last record and you did this record, right? So this record is the more raw record. This record, even like you went more, but even the cover, it's just the more straightforward. You could tell the whole concept is just straight over, hit you over the head with everything. Now that you did this record, now, from the last record to now, all right, now it's different times also, right? Do you think that the crowd changed? Because why I say the crowd changed, not even that it got bad, it's still, I see you guys having great shows, but you could tell, I see that young generation, they're a little older now. That's 2-3 years now.
Dude,
so
yeah, it's right? Just these cycles of kids, you know, it's like, you never fucking know, really, you know, it's like, that's the thing. It's like the kids that are coming to Knock Loose shows now, you know, they might, you know, be going to strictly, you know, like Drain shows from now on.
Exactly.
And, you know, but then 3 years later, it's a whole new crop of kids. So it's like, it's hard to even predict what it's going to be like in a few years. It's like, you know, it's always changing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's insane because I remember when you guys were one of the newer bands, like the newer band. Oh, forget you guys. You guys are not the newer band. They're the older band. Now there's those, exactly, the Drains, all these bands. And what's bugged out for me, and it's cool because I'm watching it unfold. And I know you're bugging out. You could bug out on it too because you've been going to Europe long enough. Okay, now let's see. Because they're doing good. I saw a couple, but now they're going to finally start coming over more. The Drains, the Scouts to Europe. Doing the fest. Okay.
Like, how is it going to cross over?
Yeah, how's that?
Into Europe?
Not even like to nitpick, but because I think they'll do great. But I'm curious how it evolves in Europe because, Europe is different. But Europe also caught up to speed than before. Now, you remember it used to be the joke was, next year they'll get it. Now it's like next week they'll get it.
10
now it's tomorrow they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they all hip with the shit. Like
it still takes a little bit. It's interesting because it's like we played with Knock Loose in Europe just a few months ago, and it hasn't completely caught on in Europe yet.
Yeah,
like they, they played before us.
Yeah,
in Europe. Whereas, like, there's no way in a chance that they would play, before us in the States. It's just like a whole. Yeah. So they're still. I mean, I'm sure just a year or so, and it's going to be massive for them over in Europe. But it still takes a little bit of time for it to.
Yeah, for sure.
Really
and
cross over.
I'm also looking at those other bands why I keep saying like the Scouts or the Drink, because the Knock Loose is from the new tier. Those are the top. You got the Code Orange, the Knock Loose. Those guys are doing the big willies. You could tell they're already getting in there. Now you have the grittier bands, if it's a Scout or the Gulch, they broke up, but that style coming up, I'm curious how Europe would have got them. Because the style, like a band like Gulch, I'm like, that's Europe. That crazy, fall on the floor, punk, roll on the wooden floor, get splinters in you, kind of break a bottle on your head. It's that style, angry. And that's total Germany.
I hope it pops off. Yeah. I mean,
me too.
Drain is one of my favorite current bands. We've toured with them a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not only dope on stage, but super. Some of the coolest dudes.
I want to get them on the podcast. Yeah, I like
straight
the
up.
band.
They're the shit. And out of all the newer bands, they're probably my favorite. Just on stage, off stage, and they started going to Europe. So I don't know. I think it'll pop off for them, but also I think the mentality is a little bit different with some of these newer bands as far as touring. I don't think they tour as much as we did in the past, and I don't know if that matters. It seems like maybe some of the success that Madball had and Terror's had in Europe, I think it's because we toured so much. We went over
definitely
3 or 4 times a year for
15, 20 years straight. That's exactly what we've all been.
And so it seems like that's the reason why the shows have been great for us in Europe. Mm-hmm. But maybe this day and age, you don't need to tour that much, because I know that they're definitely not touring
for sure
on that same level as like we did. But I hope it pops for them.
For sure, that new generation is blowing up America. Like, they're drawing in America more than it was happening 5-10 years ago with American bands. There was nothing in America. You know what I mean? Like, as far as a proper hardcore tour, was like, it was going to be hard. Like, to have, even with you guys, with the Sound of Fury, the big West Coast hardcore, that doesn't happen here. You know that. That doesn't. That's cool. Why everybody's still loving that, because it doesn't happen in America.
Yeah.
And Europe has been happening for 20, 30 years, but over here it doesn't. But and that was a real hardcore show. That wasn't a festival with a bunch of hardcore. You know what I mean? That was a hardcore fest. Outdoors, it had the numbers, the whatever, all on what we just saying, the gritty bands with the metallic, with the whole, what we just been talking about. And I'm saying now what you're saying, I could kind of see where, our bands, we loved going to Europe because the scene was bigger. Now these people have their backyards, their scenes are growing. Cali's bumping for these bands. You go to Seattle, it's bumping. They go right outside to a Vegas, it's bumping. It's so they might. I hope they don't forget about Europe because they'll be missing out.
Yeah. I love coming to Europe. You know, it's like
it's home, man.
Like Germany's like a second home for
Absolutely.
me. You know, I love being there. I love the culture. It's like when we first started going there, it was like I hate this fucking bubble water, fucking vegetable.
You know how it is.
Vegan chili.
Meathead Americans we are.
I hated it. And now I'm like a connoisseur of sparkling water now. I go to Germany. I'm like, every region's got their own sparkling water. And I'm like, yo, what's the local shit? I'm like,
oh yeah. You know how that is. Before I was like, what are they giving us? We're going to eat this weird thing. Now we're like, where's the schnitzel? Where's the spetzel? Where's the this?
Busky would get so mad. When somebody gave him a bubble water on stage.
Oh, God forbid.
He'd be throwing bottles of water all over the stage. So mad at everybody.
I know. I love it.
Yo, there's these, I don't know what country it is. Maybe it's Switzerland. They got this water. It's in a box. And it's like, it says, it almost looks like it says carrot. It's like KARAT or some shit. But Busky, for real, they were giving us, these waters on stage. Busky, for real, for a whole year, thought it was carrot juice. And they were giving us carrot juice. He would never drink them. He's like, why they keep bringing us carrot juice on stage? Busky hated it.
You know how that is when we first get there. Exactly. What is this? And then we've been there so long. I'm like, you know how that is. Same thing for us. Like, this is the longest I've been away in 28 years. Madball since 93, 94. We've been going to Europe, estimated 3 times a year. Ballpark, sometimes more, whatever, but estimated 3 times a year since 93, 94. Whatever. I got whatever the math is. This is the longest we've been away. So I bugged out, seeing, Rob. Like, I'm used to seeing Rob like seeing my neighbor. And I see Rob as literally, I see, those are like, Rob's my boy, not just my team, that's my boy, but I see him more than my boys that I lived with in my same city. You know how it is, because you work
extended family for sure.
And then I'm like, I bug out and I'm like, wow, like I caught myself saying, I wonder how I'm gonna feel when I get there. Like, I literally forget, I played the shows already. I did one of the first shows back. I got the dope, feeling in the dope, but I'm like, to be in Europe where, it's special for us, for all our bands.
It's probably like for you, I don't know how often you go back to New York City, but it's probably something like that after living in Florida for so long. It's like when you go to New York, you're like, it's weird. It's this comfortable feeling, but you're also like, oh, fuck, I haven't been here forever. You know?
You want to do everything. Let me go to Berlin. Let me go to Cortex. Let me go to here. Let me go to there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that whole shit. And right now, what city you're in right now?
Lyon, France.
Lyon, France. We've been playing Lyon since back in the day. They have a fucking old
dope.
scene there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have the Super Bowl of hardcore there in Lyon, France. They used to be like a Super Bowl of hardcore there. Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, I feel like that we played recently. I don't know if it's the same organizers but it was in a different city in Rennes or some shit.
Rennes. Yeah, Rennes. Yeah, it's all that same.
Yeah, we played there this summer. We played a Super Bowl of hardcore and
exactly. Yeah, no, and you got this run, and what's the deal next? Where you go from here?
We got a couple months off. Really, we're doing a festival and a show in LA in December for the Children Fest.
I saw that, and what's that about? I saw that's dope.
Yeah. Our buddy Nate, who sings in Zabalba, he's been doing these toy drive shows for a number of years. I don't know, it seems like almost 10 years now, and every year it's gotten a little bit bigger, but it's a toy drive, so everybody buys tickets, but to get entry you have to get the ticket and bring a toy, so everybody brings a toy, and then he donates all these toys to kids, and it's fucking dope. But this year the lineup is stacked for sure. So we're doing that, and then the same weekend we're flying out east to do a show out in Philadelphia at the what's that spot? It's in Reading, PA.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing. I saw that you play. That's a stacked bill. You're playing Reverb.
Reverb.
And Reading. That's the club. That's Chris's club.
Fucking Life of Agony and
That's gonna be a dope show. You're gonna have a good one on that. That's gonna be dope, man. That's a stack one. Life Agony.
So
yeah.
Those are the last 2 shows of the year, and then we're still waiting for some schedule, confirmation for next year. But
yeah,
so we got a little bit of time off.
Yeah, and what's so now you go home, the baby, right? What's the plan with the baby? Are you getting any sleep?
She is crazy. She slept like almost all the way through the night since she was born. So we got pretty lucky with that. So she sleeps pretty good, and she's got tons of.
Wait till the teeth come out.
She got 2 little teeth in the bottom. So
all right, she's trooping. Yeah, you're lucking out.
She's got tons of energy though. So when she's up, it's like you got to do stuff to stimulate her and just keep her busy. But then she wears herself out, and then she got to get her into nap mode. So it's like, it's just 100% on throughout the day until she knocks out at night. But I've been waiting so she's old enough to do the jogging stroller. So when I get home, it's like she's over 6 months now, so I'm gonna get the jogging stroller when I get home, so I can take her on runs with me. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's good.
Home.
So you're still doing that? The running? You doing the trail shit?
Yeah. I mean,
tell them 10 minutes. And my son, we live in the motherfucking house. So you know how it goes. And no, so you're still doing. That's what I was wondering, if you were still doing the crazy training. You were doing the hikes through the mountains and all that shit.
Yeah, for a while I was doing all these like races, and so I kind of had all this crazy schedule of stuff I was like training for. Now it's a little bit more, just go with the flow. I stay in shape, so I still do something every day, but it's not this strategic like training. Like before, I was like, if I had a certain race coming up, I had to do all the specific training for it and shit.
Now you just kind of work out to work out. You do it to.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. It's like when I'm home, with the baby, it's like it's hard to fit in time to do it all. So I end up not working out a lot when I'm home. I go on walks with her all the time in the morning, so we'll walk 5 or 6 miles with her strapped in and everything. And she loves that shit. So I think she's going to be into doing the jogging stroller. So that'll be a way of, for me to be able to run when I'm home with her and bring her along. And I looking forward to like, being able to go on doing hiking with her and stuff too.
Yeah. That's cool shit when you could take them, like that. Cause you could get your workout in and take care of them. Me, that's why I got to be at the gym at 5 a.m. That's where nobody bothers me. You got to, because there's no time when they're awake. You're too busy doing everything else and shit.
Well, that's why I tell everybody. It's like, there's so much going on when I'm home, taking care of the baby and everything, taking care of shit. That now when I go on tour, it's like vacation.
Oh yeah,
like,
I believe me.
You can run as long as you want, whenever you want. It's like, you find yourself just like, what should I do with myself?
I
right
know
now?
you. Why do you think I say I'm jealous?
That feeling. Yeah,
I'm not just jealous of the shows. I'm jealous of just being fucking free to do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. But then when you find yourself not knowing what to do with yourself because you're usually too busy,
it's like weird.
I find myself doing
that. You never
that.
thought about that before. It's like, and not that I don't want to be home with my baby and my wife. Of course. It's like there's nothing that is, you can exchange for that time. But when you're on tour, you find yourself, fuck, like I can do whatever I want right now.
We need to decompress because again, we're with them 24/7. People forget, even your parents, even if they hated work, they got away from the element and came back. We got everybody. We're humans. Even your lady, she got to get away from it. They got to you got to decompress and come back and take care of business. But that's what makes parents, learning how to decompress is a secret. You know what I mean?
Well, that's, when I get home, it's like she's been home with the baby 24/7.
Yep.
So when I get home, I try to
take over,
make up. Yeah. Take over, like,
oh yeah.
Whether it's when I get up in the morning and I could go and walk go on a walk for 2 hours. That's 2 hours she can get up, take a bath, like make herself breakfast. Like, it's like,
whatever she needs to do
straight up
to feel good. That's what you got to do. But that's what's called being a parent. I'm glad. I'm psyched for you, Nick. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, and I'm glad I'm hearing what I'm hearing, because that's what it is. People that when to have a kid is easy, but when you're like thoughtful on how you make it work, it shows that you give a fuck, and that's what you need. And the longer we give a fuck for our kids, that it keeps us alive longer. That's the only reason I do what I do, is to stay alive longer, so I can yell at my kids longer. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm glad you were able to jump on and talk some shit. Nick Jett, anything you want to let the people before we out of here? The world is listening.
No, I ain't got nothing to say, just whatever. Shout out to everybody who, comes out and supports Terror after all these fucking years. It's crazy. Shout out to Madball and everything that you guys did for us. And, you guys gave us the blueprint of how to do what we do. And so it means the world for us to,
what's up. You guys are
respect to you guys.
You guys are fam. You know what's up. And we still got to record something eventually. I got some music ideas I want to do. We're going to talk later. But Nick Jett, everybody, Smokin Word Podcast. Make sure, you know the deal. Make sure you go check out Terror. Listen, this is coming out on my Patreon first, and I'm going to drop it next week to the masses. But go support that Terror shit. Go get everything Terror. And if you see Nick Jett, go get him a coffee or some plastic candy, because he's stressed from that kid, and he likes plastic candy because he's a redhead.
Oh, dude. I thought about that. I was gonna tell you. I was like, my baby girl, she's got red hair already.
Yeah,
I was like, Hoya's gonna be like, she's gonna love the plastic
candy, the gummies. Right away. She's like, gummy. But now I know what to get for Christmas. But good shit, yo. I'm psyched for you.
Funny.
One love to you. Your family, to Terror, everybody, one love. Yo, we out of here. One love, Nick. I'll hit you later, right, brother?
Peace.
Yo, we out of here.